So what
go
I
ahead.
think about that series is there's some obvious things that the Lakers, I think both teams have obvious advantages. And I think both advantages were on display, but we saw something that we can't bank on. We cannot bank on Rui going 83% from three, making 5 threes and scoring 29. And we can't bank on Austin Reeves doing those things. You have to look at those as the glaring holes. Rebounding advantage was 48-34. Again,
we already 48-34, bro.
We already expected the Lakers to be a bigger team. We already knew that. But in terms of what I think Taylor Jenkins designed defensively, it worked. Anthony Davis had 22. LeBron had 22, and they found something in this series. So far, just in the first game, Jaren Jackson posting LeBron is a thing. It works.
And he wasn't in foul trouble.
Because it's very physical, and he wasn't in foul trouble. So that is something that they can exploit. Now, Ja started cooking in the second half, but of course, we have to mention that because tomorrow you're not going to hear nobody mention that Ja was out for the last 5 minutes when they were down 4. Then he left. Nobody's going to mention that. They're just going to say, "Oh, the Warriors. All the Lakers are great. We knew they was going to beat Memphis. Memphis is." That's what you're going to hear tomorrow. Nobody's going to mention that Memphis's best player didn't play the last 5 minutes. No one cares.
That's exactly, bro. Carl's laughing, but it's true. He's not.
It's what's going to happen.
Cooking, Mike.
No one's
keep
going to
cooking.
mention it.
Keep cooking, Mike.
Because according to people like Carl, oh, well, I don't do ifs, so I don't know what an if means. But bottom line, it's supposed to matter if their superstar is not playing and there's 4 minutes left in the game. That matters. So I think there's a lot of things that the Lakers can't duplicate. Like Rui's not going to shoot like that, but I think it's going to be a good series. I think both teams have advantages. The Lakers have the advantage in the paint. The Grizzlies have the advantage on the perimeter, and we'll see who exploits their advantage more.
Jigs, what are your thoughts? Game 1, Lakers Grizzlies.
The game was not as fun as I thought it was going to be. I'm not gonna lie about it. It was really looking real JV-ish in the first half. It felt like the game kind of picked up in the third quarter. Honestly, it looked very JV-ish, like my little middle school kids. People was throwing the ball half court, getting stolen. It was looking wild. But I'm more concerned with Ja Morant. Is he coming back? Are we gonna hear something? I get nervous when I don't hear anything, and if we don't hear nothing at all tomorrow, it makes me wonder, like, is it a sprained hand? Because if that's the case, the Lakers are going to the second round. I think if Ja Morant if he's healthy, I think I think the Lakers are still gonna win. I think the Lakers have the roster that they were looking for. They got the production. Like you said, Mike, they're not gonna probably get that all the time. But if it's not Rui, then all of a sudden it may be Dennis Schroeder, or it could be D'Angelo Russell, who had a pretty good game. One thing I will say for the Lakers that I would like to see more, going back to when they played Miami in the bubble championship. Mike, I know how you feel about that, but they need a heavier dose of Anthony Davis. Heavier dose of Anthony Davis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they need to get the ball to him. We don't need to see LeBron, LeBron is not that dude like that anymore, honestly, right? Father Time is starting to talk a little bit. Anthony Davis needs to get the ball a lot more.
A lot.
Okay, so in speaking of that, and we've all said it, I was at the barbershop with the homies today, and I was like, to the Laker fan, I was like, is it a jealousy thing? And this is not chatty patty, this is real. Like could LeBron defer more to Anthony Davis, or he just doesn't want to? Andres?
It's hard to say because we all know who LeBron James is, and he's always going to have a different gear when it comes to the playoffs. Like, we know that. But today he only had 21 points, and it was enough, But like Mike said, to feed off of what Mike and Zig said, Reed is not going to have that game again. Austin Reeves has been a solid role player for the Lakers, but I don't know if he's going to have that game again. So in that scenario, obviously LeBron is going to have that 35, 36-point game. You know what I mean? And listen, we talk about offense all the time in basketball, but Mike said it at the beginning of the show. When you take over a game defensively, man, it does you wonders. Anthony Davis today on the defensive side of the ball, man, he was everywhere. And I mean everywhere, dude. Like, we're all fan of offenses. I get it. But when your superstar player can take over defensively, dude, it's a different world. So I want to give a shout out to Anthony Davis, but going back to what you said, Carl, I mean, we'll see, like you said, it's only one game, but like, it's only one game in the sense that, like, Rui Hachimura is never going to have that game again. I believe so. Austin Reeves is never going to have 23 points a game. I believe so. On the other hand, LeBron's never going to have 21 points in a game. But however, if the Lakers are going to win the series, everything has to run through the engine, which right now in 2023, it's Anthony Davis. Look at Anthony Davis taking over the defensive end, dude. Like, if you don't like basketball, like, go watch the film on the second half of Anthony Davis. He was marvelous.
And now you just basically just gave Anthony more battery in his pack. He's saying Andre's defense wins what? So here he comes.
But it's true.
Okay, I'm
it's
glad
true.
you said that because the Celtics have the number 2 defense and the number 1 offense in the league, which is the first time in NBA history. So,
listen, that first quarter by Anthony Davis and the second quarter by Jaren Jackson Jr. That is, I don't think I've seen that in a while where you see guys dominate on both ends of the court. Because Anthony Davis dominated on both ends of the court in the first quarter, and Triple J did it in the second quarter, both of them on defense and offense. It was incredible to see. It was.
For me, that game was just for all the Julius Randle haters, and for the simple fact that the people who wanted him gone, and he came to play. So shout out to the Knicks on that win.
Well, he came to play on that last rebound.
Yeah. Andres, go ahead.
If you're a Knicks fan, and you're looking for the positives from this game, because when you win a game, there's still positives and negatives. The positive. All year round, the Knicks have had between Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, who's been the best player. Me personally, I think Brunson is better right now because Randle is coming back from an injury right now. Jalen Brunson didn't play the first half because he was in foul trouble, and the Knicks still won. If you're a Knicks fan, I'm looking at that positive. Hey, my best player didn't play almost the whole entire first half. We still grinded it out. Now I'm gonna let Ziggy do his thing, but I just wanted to say that.
Well, Mike, because Ziggy said you want to go last. Mike, anything to add to the next series?
This is the best series in the first round. This is going to be the best series in the first round. 100%.
Bold statement.
Because you have the Warriors winning in 5. Okay, that's fair.
I do have the Warriors.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I can see why you say that. That's fair.
But this is the more this is a true 4-5 matchup. There's a lot of things that are even. Now, I do think that the bigs for the Cavs was a little bit shaky, better. Baby. They was a little bit shaky, baby. It's their first playoff appearance. They was a little, I think Jared Allen
had piss running down their pants, man.
It was look at shaky, every alligator, it was look at shaky, baby. Now, having said all that, there are some things that are not going to remain constant. Okay, so first of all, I don't think RJ Barrett is going to play that bad, and I'm sure Ziggy's going to talk about him. I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's going to play that bad, like because he played bad. But there are some things that are constant. Donovan Mitchell.
Yep.
He ain't going nowhere. He's there. That's a playoff performance, so we can count on his buckets. Darius Garland's not going to play that bad. So. But overall, I like what the Knicks are doing with that 1-2 punch. And I'm not gonna lie, as I watched the game, and we talked about this a lot of times, or can Julius Randle be your franchise player? Can Jalen Brunson? Well, what I think we can see possibly is that maybe it doesn't have to be one of them as the franchise player. Maybe it's a tandem. Maybe it's Mike Bibby and Chris Webber. They didn't win a chip, but they pushed the Lakers to 7. And without 23 free throws in a quarter, they would have beat the Lakers. And Carl, I don't care about your ifs. So I think that maybe the Knicks have that 1-2 punch. I think that's going to be a challenge for Cleveland, especially if their bigs don't snap out of it. But Evan Mobley, I'm impressed. So I want to see JB Bickerstaff, his first playoff appearance. I want to see the adjustments that he's going to make. Possibly, again, the foul trouble worked by posting up Jalen Brunson and getting him in switches, putting him in foul trouble worked in the first half. So I want to see if he does that. And of course, Tibbs, they've been playing. And so will they run out of gas late in this series? Because Tibbs likes to play his guys all these minutes. I think Emmanuel quickly played 81 games. Julius Randle, if it wasn't for him being injured, I think he played 70 plus. So they got a lot of miles from this season, but it's a good series. I'm excited to watch it.
Diggs.
All right. So coming into this game, I said it just like this. I said we need Donovan Mitchell to just go ham, go crazy. Go nut. And we worry about everybody else because like Mike just said, and like you said, Andres, Donovan Mitchell is not going anywhere. The shots that he was making on last night, or rather last evening, were tough shots. Josh Hart was draped all over him. He's still knocking down threes. He's sidestepping, hitting threes with people on him. He's getting fouled by Quentin Grimes at the 3-point line. Like, this is going to keep happening over and over. And I wouldn't say Darius Garland had a bad game. He just went missing in the fourth quarter. He didn't take any shots. He finished with 17 on 50% shooting. But we did what we were supposed to do. We came in there. Julius Randle, he wasn't efficiently the best, but had probably the best play at the end of the game where he secured the offensive rebound for us. Jalen Brunson was fantastic. Josh Hart was probably the biggest surprise for me. I mean, him coming in, getting 17 points, 10 rebounds. I think he had like 4 offensive boards. Those offensive rebounds, going back to what you said, Mike, those big men, Cleveland going to have to kind of step it up. I'm talking from an unbiased standpoint now because it's really hard for me to do this, but from an unbiased standpoint, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen has to step up. I want to know who's going to be that third guy for Cleveland because Okoro ain't it. He ain't the guy that's going to get the ball. He's not going to be knocking it down. I'm kind of looking at Karis LeVert and wondering, is he going to get some minutes? This is going to be a series that's going to be very, very similar to chess. It's all about chess. It's all about movements. Who's going to make these coaching moves? RJ Barrett, got to do better. Got to have some kind of identity. Are you going to be a defender? Are you going to be a scorer? Are you going to be an initiator? You got to do something. Like, every time I watch him, I sit and wonder, like, we really could have had Donovan Mitchell. Instead, we got you, and we're paying you $100 and something million.
Yeah, you've been saying that all season, bro.
Bro, but like Carl, the problem is a lot of Knicks fans. I have a lot of friends that they're like, I wouldn't trade RJ for Mitchell, and it's just like, dude, man, come on. Come
They're
on,
not smart,
bro.
man. They're not smart, bro.
One thing I'll add to what Ziggy said, bro. Who is Dean Wade, and why is he getting minutes? Like Biggerstaff.
Dean Wade is a stretch. He's a stretch four, bro. Don't.
No, he can shoot too.
He can
He hit
shoot.
the side of the backboard. He looked crazy. I ain't gonna
Playoffs,
lie. I was confusing him and Hartenstein. I'm not gonna lie.
Hardenstein is fire though. Hardenstein is good.
I was confusing both of them, but Dean Wade could shoot though. He could, but again, this was Cleveland's first time in the playoffs with some of those players. They looked nervous. They did. We all seen this. We've been watching NBA long enough. Some of them looked nervous.